Rock and roll is a dirty job, they say. And well, they're not lying. I mean, drinking on the job, cussing, beating up your colleagues, and even nudity. It's not the most respectable job, let's be real. A lot of things can go wrong in rock music, not only on stage, but also backstage and even in the studio. I think there might be very few bands that have never done or have done very little self-sabotaging. And actually, music as a whole is a medium full of ego, tension, darkness, and a lot of other scary stuff. Nearly every band has fallen into temptation and made some grave mistakes. I'm Ward, and these are the 7 deadly sins as rock artists. By the way, if you can't tell yet, this video is just for fun. Yeah, just that. So please, if you think you might crap your pants watching this, then please just get out of it. The very first sin is the sin of pride. The original and worst of the sins. This might be the most difficult category because rock music is filled with cocky, arrogant jerks, which unfortunately, from my experience, applies to every other genre. But now we're talking about rock music. I had to resort to the internet and found that Gene Simmons apparently used to be kind of a douche. According to some sources, he has said some obnoxious and remorseless things, and multiple people have cited his interview with Terry Gross, which you can watch on YouTube. Another rock star which has surprisingly been cited is Ritchie Blackmore. They say he hasn't been so nice to his bandmates and always wanted the spotlight. It's really sad to read such things about someone who's as inspiring and influential as Blackmore. I imagine a lot of glam boys would fit in this category too. But anyway, let's move on. Number 2 is the sin of greed, the desire to possess more than one needs. And no, Metallica doesn't belong in this category. And if you still think to this day that they do, then I'm sorry, I can't help you. So I heard the Rolling Stones once sold tickets for outrageous prices. Also, Gene Simmons might belong in this category too, for all the ridiculous merchandise. I mean, air guitar strings? Seriously? I didn't want to believe it the first time I saw it. A Kiss casket? What the f***? Who wants to buy a freaking casket from a music band? I'm waiting for you to shock me in the comments and tell me that some people actually bought it. I'm sure not even the Undertaker would be interested in buying that casket, even if Kiss was his favorite band. Yeah, so rock artists can sometimes go too far when it comes to money and profit. But this is just too far. This is absolutely insane. Who sells a plastic pack of nothing? Just air. And a freaking casket. Who wanna buy a casket from a music band and just lay in it? But honestly, I still think it's a rare thing in rock music because you don't hear stories like that very often, am I right? However, I know that one of the most expensive songs to license, if not the most expensive one, is Thunderstruck by AC/DC. $500,000, my friends. My 2 dream cars are both less expensive than that. Number 3 is the sin of lust, the uncontrolled, unbridled sexual desire. And no rock band has shamelessly shown and expressed more horniness than the horniest of them all, Sleep Token. I mean, what the hell? This guy needs to chill. Since day one, Sleep Token's music has been called many things like sex metal, sexy metal, baby making metal, horny metal, and other very weird names. And I'm sure you don't need me to explain why. But many other bands have committed the sin of lust long before Sleep Token members were even born. Those would include, but are not limited to, the Rolling Stones, Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, The Doors, and of course, the wildest of them all, Motley Crue. Ever heard the word groupie? Yup. Number 4 is the sin of envy. I'm sure there's a number of people in this category, but I instantly think of one specific person. Dave Mustaine. Oh my god. Do you even need me to tell you the story? Just in case you have no idea what I'm talking about, allow me to briefly narrate this. Dave was the original guitarist for Metallica from 1981 to 1983. But he had issues. Severe issues. Drugs, violence, and I would say anxious attachment. He had a lot of darkness. He had a monster inside him. So Dave got fired after a lot of fights. And from that day till I would say the early 2000s, he had one and only one thing in mind: destroy Metallica. He formed Megadeth, the greatest rival for Metallica. And in 1992, he came this close to beating them, but he fell short and remained as number 2. Now keep in mind, he achieved great success and great fortune, but the problem is he still had a lot of hard feelings for his old bandmates. And unfortunately, some might say he still has those hard feelings to this day. And of course, those hard feelings did a lot more damage to Dave himself than to Metallica. And like he said in the documentary Some Kind of Monster, everything he did in an attempt to hurt Metallica backfired. I'm definitely going to talk more about this and about the whole career of Megadeth in a future video. Number 5, the sin of gluttony. Although rock music has always been known for the booze, gluttony is the overconsumption and overindulgence, especially by overeating. So it's hard to find someone who belongs in this category, considering that most rock stars weigh 90 pounds. But of course, there are some rockers who have put on some weight as they have grown older, like Chuck Billy, Tom Araya, Kerry King, Phil Anselmo, and of course, Axl Rose. I would assume that touring life does that to you, but still, none of those guys got like morbidly obese. Anyway, doesn't matter, they got issues way more serious than gaining a few pounds. Number 6 is the sin of wrath. Oh, we got a lot of pissed off headbangers. Rock music, and especially heavy metal, is a genre that was created in the first place to unleash anger and wrath on the world. So you could add every single rock star that existed, except maybe the Beatles. Yeah, I could think of Metallica all day, Megadeth, System of a Down, Slipknot, and so many others. Maybe the only metal band that I could think of that probably never made any angry music is Motorhead. I'm sure there are other examples, but when I think happy metal, metal with happy lyrics, I think Motorhead. And finally, sin number 7, sloth, laziness, absence of interest, and lack of effort. I can't think of anyone. I'm guessing everybody goes through this at some point, but someone who's been known for it? Some sources mention The Who, the Eagles, and the Cars for having a huge gap between 2 albums. And no, don't even think about it, Metallica doesn't belong in this category either. Even Axl Rose is mentioned. I don't know, I think most artists go through that period of having no energy, especially after they get famous. But it's never that simple, it's never just laziness or lack of interest or effort. I mean, I could think of Ozzy Osbourne because he was once in a terrible mental state, not just lazy. You can't just describe it as that. Metallica had no interest in recording new music in the year 2000, but they were at their absolute worst, not just lazy. Lazy doesn't go on tour non-stop and keep giving people outstanding shows. So that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, because this topic has been trending lately, so I thought I should make my own version of it. So let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thank you very much for watching, please take care of yourselves, and as always, have fun.